Well, you know, they are doing exactly what you'd think they'd be doing. They're covering up the fact that the Bush administration has failed to deal with an energy policy in this country. The fact remains that oil companies are making excess profits, that there is none whatsoever policy toward tapping into those windfall profits, for having a rational energy policy that will bring down the cost of gasoline and energy in this country. There is nothing in their proposals that's new. First of all, we suspended half of the tax permanently last year, so we only tax on a unit of energy at the rate of what used to be $2 a gallon. So half of it is suspended. Nobody knows about it. The reason nobody knows about it is they created, and we created in the half, opportunity for the energy companies to make more money. Nobody regulates the price. Nobody regulates the price gouging. And they don't propose to do it. Now they're going to give them another fund. The consumer will not see it, and the energy companies will make more money as a result. The fact remains, the way to deal with it is to put efficiency standards in place, to have a national energy policy, to have a president who's capable of talking to energy-producing companies, creating our own or eliminating our dependence on foreign sources of energy, and promoting alternative energy sources. That's the way we're going to do it. Don't give the public a false sense of security. Cost of a gallon of gasoline is $4. The relief they propose, the public will see nothing. The energy companies will see greater profits from it. It's about $500 million, and that's typical. I'm glad you raised it. We would give $500 million not to the public, but to the energy companies. And what's happening around the state is there are many localities, because when we passed the tax break by capping it at $2, we also gave localities the ability to do that. Many of the localities are opting out of it because they need the revenue in this time. Well, what they're proposing is a $500 million expenditure. I believe they're also proposing no benefit to anybody except the oil companies for that $500 million expenditure. They would open up a gap in the budget that would have to come from either health care or education or property tax relief, someplace that the public is benefited. Well, I don't even think you'll save anything. I really believe that it'll get absorbed in the price, and the public will see nothing. Hillary Clinton proposed it, but she also proposed replacing the revenue with a windfall profits tax on the oil companies. So if you want to shift the burden to the oil companies, that's fine with me. If you want to cap it here and have an aggressive price gouging statute that prohibits the pass-through from or prohibits the oil companies from charging greater profits as a result of suspending the gas tax, and then doing the windfalls profits tax, then we have something to talk about. Well, that's why I suggested that if you had a vigorous enforcement provision that didn't permit that to happen, and it didn't permit price gouging as properly defined, I think that would be the only way we should consider anything of this nature. But you're absolutely right. In this instance, and in most instances, everything gets passed through to the consumer, and if there's relief to the consumer, it's taken away by the oil companies. Well, you can have a federal policy that would vigorously enforce price gouging, define it, and not allow a pass-through of windfall profits. The consumer should be definitely writing to President Bush. The consumer should be focused on the next presidential candidate who promises a comprehensive policy on energy. I think it's the cover-up for the failure of the Republican administration in Washington to deal with this, not over the last month, but over the last 7.5 years.